Well, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon to each and every one of you. We are grateful to God for another opportunity, another privilege to be able to come and to share with you. We had some other obligations that we needed to take care of. And so, for that reason, we had to get on a little bit later. But we again are grateful to God for the privilege to be able to come and to share with you on today. So, with that being said, we look so forward to sharing with you today the opportunity to be able to let you know that our God is able to do above and beyond all we could ask or think. And so, welcome, 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 one and all, to a marvelous and a fantastic afternoon. And with that being said, we are grateful to God. We see that there are those of you that are able to come on and so we're thankful to God for that. And so, Rosalind, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much, Barbara. Good afternoon. Nope, no baby today. Had him on Tuesday. And so his other grandmother has him. And we're just grateful to God for that. Kathy, Jemison, Laverne, Nancy, Linda, thank y'all so much for coming and being here with us on today. Okay. And Barbara and Timothy, thank you so much for being a part. We know that this is off by about an hour, but we needed to make sure that Lady Harrison made it, took her to her appointment, do whatever need to be done, and we do what we need to do. Stephanie, thank you for being here. Good day, good day, good day, good day, good day, good day, and listen to what I'm saying. This is a great day for you to get out and do something. Laverne, bless you for being here. A good day for you to get out and do something. Get a little walk in, get a little fresh air because it's going to rain the rest of the week. So I wanted to get that out there. Sylvia Scott, thank you so much for being here with us. And all is well, as well can be. Chaplain Hearns, bless the Lord for you being here with us. And there probably will be a time change tomorrow. Um, I've got to look at my schedule to see because I'm a member of the board of Compass, and I believe that there is a virtual. Well, for me, it's virtual board meeting on that day. Cora, how you be? How you feel? How you feel? How you feel? You being good? I'm gonna ask Anthony. He'll tell me. Oh, I'll ask Tamika. She'll tell me. And so we are grateful to God for you one and all. It's going to be a great day. Going to be in the upper 60s today. You better enjoy it. I'm telling y'all, this is getting ready to be a real strange year. Real strange. And that's all I'm going to say. Uh, I done said all I'm going to say, and I ain't saying no more. So, again, grateful for you one and all. Please share, please share. Please share. Okay. Okay. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. I love it. 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 And so, again, we are thankful for you one and all. And we are going to move on in just a moment. Lakeisha, thank you for being here. Good afternoon to you. All right. Minister Faye, bless you. Thank you so much for being here on this great afternoon. As a matter of fact, what I will do is I will post tonight what time the snapshot will be tomorrow, which will give everybody plenty of time to be able to adjust their schedules if that is possible for you to be with us on tomorrow. So, again, Elder James, how are you, sir? Thank you so much for being here with us, and grateful to God for you as well. And we're going to get ready to move on. Minister Clay, what it be like, sir? Hope you're well. Hope you're well. Hope all is well. Thank you so much for letting us know that all of it looks and sounds good Janice, Media Ministry, is handling their business. Misty, Catherine, Elder Pam, what you up to? Barbara Foods, okay. Hope the weather gives favor. What can I say? Denise, how you do? Cheryl, bless you. Thank you so much for being here with us on this great after. I don't expect as many people to be on because of the time change. Some people are watch us during their lunch period. They do what they need to do, and you don't know how much I appreciate of that sacrifice. Okay, I'm actually doing well. I'm regrouping and recovering from a very long and tedious time. Okay, and it's not slowing down because when I step into the month of May, it accelerates to a ridiculous level. But it is what it is. It is the way it is, and that's how it is. And that's we just got to do what we got to do when we got to do it. Please share, please share, please share, please share. Minister Clay, tell the missus we said hello as well, and we're grateful to God for you, one and the all, for being here with us. And so, I have a question. Cecile, tell Larry we said hi. Cecile, I have a question. I do. When the Lord looks at you, what question does he ask himself about you? Again, we are in Matthew chapter 18, and we're looking at verses 22 through 31. That's where we're going to hang our hat at for just a moment, and we're going to look, because the truth of the matter is, and I'm just being really, really transparent and honest, there comes a time when doing the right thing, which is God's way of doing everything, doesn't necessarily bring you the satisfaction that you want. Yeah. No, I'm not. I know I'm not going to get a whole lot of people to agree with me on that, but what you have to know is that God's way is not necessarily the way we would like things to go or how we would like things to turn out. Because once we are wounded, hurt, and we garner a vindictive spirit, the only thing that actually will satisfy us is vindication through avenues that we have deemed appropriate punishment for someone who has wronged us. And the thing that I always say, and I don't know how many of you have actually paid any attention to this in the past, while we are so busy playing the victim, sounds like somebody while we're always talking about what people are doing to us and how people are treating us and how horrible life is because of what other people are doing, the question I have is, has that ever been you? Have you ever been the person who was hateful and mean and vindictive and nasty and smart mouth? Has it ever been you that someone could have preyed on and said, you know what, Lord, I done had just about enough of them. I want them to die. Has it ever, and I know this is deep, but I've got to deal with this. Has it ever, while we always want to talk about how we have been wronged and how we have been treated, my question is, have you always been loving and kind and sharing and consoling and concerned? Uh, 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 oh. Yeah, Elder Pam, I'm trying to get people to understand that while we want to be on the right side of justice and vindication, could it be? Could it be? Could it be that in the mind of somebody else, you are worthy of a whooping? You are worthy of the wrath of God to be poured down upon you in unmeasurable levels of ferocity. I want you to think about this, okay? Have I ever been mean, smart mouth, or vindictive? There are. Yeah, Cora. I'm really just trying. I'm really, to the best of my ability, to paint this picture in such a way, Kathy. Because am I stepping on toes, Kathy? Because the want and desire of God to be certain ways in our lives, we may not want them for somebody else. I've got to look at this. I've got to look at this. I've got to examine this, because when you get to Matthew chapter 18, because you got to remember, Peter asks the question. We should be grown enough to apologize, but here's the problem with what you said, Barbara, and I agree with that. How do you apologize for something you've convinced yourself you're not wrong in? Because again, we're dealing with the issue. The thing that we are dealing with is the fact that someone has sinned against you. Not that somebody don't like you, or don't like what you wear, or don't like what you look like. I'm talking about an actual offense of sin that has taken place in somebody's life. And in the midst of that, and Minister Faye, honesty is the most cleansing power, because it's the washing of the word. Hattie, how are you? And you gotta know this, you gotta get this, and it can't be something, Lakeisha, that you do sporadically. But every day that God gives you breath, life, you ought to live that life free and unimpeded and uninhibited by your own feelings. You know, the latest thing is, I'm in my feelings. Well, what about you that have placed somebody else in their feelings? I guess that doesn't matter. The only person you're concerned about is how you feel. Am I doing that, Linda? I'm trying to get us to see some things. Because there are people who are watching now. There are people who will watch it later. And in the midst of watching it later, or whenever you watch it, where are you at? Look at what it says. Jesus says 7 times 70. In other words, quit trying to put limits on the amount of forgiveness that you are willing to extend to someone. Look at, and so it says here. Now look at verse 23. Can I deal with this? Therefore, the kingdom of heaven is like a certain king who wanted to settle accounts with his servants. And when he began to settle accounts, one was brought to him that owed 10,000 talents. But as he was not able to pay, his master commanded that he be sold with his wife and children until all that they had, and that payment was made. The servant therefore fell down before him and said, Master, have patience with me. I will pay you all. Then the master of that servant was moved with compassion, released him, and forgave him of his debt. Now, I'm getting ready to mess y'all up when I say this. When you look at the amount of money that this servant owed, it was over $12 million. Thea, how you be? $12 million. When we talk about the amount that he owed, and he owed 10,000 talents, which is over $12 million he owed to his master. And then all of a sudden, the master said, you know, I've had enough. You haven't even tried to make any payments, and you being shisty in the midst of this. And the only reason that you are in the condition that you are in is because I decided to find out where my debts were. I decided to bring these people in and to settle their accounts. Now you gotta understand the power of this text, because whenever, and you got to remember, this is even in the issue of the talents and everything else, because they all coincide with one another. The master provides an adequate and more than adequate amount of time for the servants to pay it back. But in the midst of this, when he begins the reckoning process, he all of a sudden recognizes something. And when he began to settle the accounts, one was brought to him that owed over $12 million, but he was not able to pay his master. What had happened was this person didn't even try. Oh. And so I got a question for you. After you're delivered, are you still in bondage? After you're delivered, are you still in bondage? Look at the text. The text says that he falls down because guess what? His wife or children did not borrow that money. He did. Probably some kind of venture or business, whatever the case may be. He borrowed that money. And the master said, not only are you going into a different level of servitude and slavery, but I'm going to take your wife and I'm going to take your children until every single penny is paid back. You had time to reconcile. You had time to even approach me and say, I'm really not able to pay. Is there something else we could do? But you chose, because the truth, oh my God, the truth of the matter is most of us aren't going to own up to anything until we get caught in it. And all of a sudden he says, the servant falls down before him. He humbles himself and says, Master, have patience with me and I will pay it all. And the master of the servant was moved. Hey, Pee Wee, was moved with compassion. Now look at what he did. He did not renegotiate the debt, but he had compassion and relieved him of the debt. He forgave over $12 million. Hey, LMA dear, how are you? He relieved him and released him of $12 million. Now, let's look at something, because my question again is, after you are delivered, are you still in bondage? Because if I have been the recipient of that kind of kindness and love and generosity, would you not think that I would reciprocate this? I want you to think about this for just a moment. Let me dig a little deeper. Let me dig just a little bit deeper. There you go. There you go. Elder Pam, there is leniency in attempts, but when no attempt is made, the severity of the judgment against you is predicated upon the fact that the lender knows you have no intention of paying it back. This man didn't even renegotiate. He says, you know what? You done fell down. You appear, oh, here we go. You appear to be sincere. You are pleading on behalf of your wife and your children. And I really don't want to do this, but you know what? Because I'm moved, sounds like Jesus, I'm moved with compassion. I'm just going to go ahead and relieve you of the debt. What happens when you get compassion and you won't give it? Okay. Y'all not ready. Y'all not ready for this, because I'm getting ready to ask you something else. Because then when you get to verse 28, we can see that this person is still in bondage. But that servant went out and found one of his fellow servants who owed him 100 denarii and laid his hands on him and took him by the throat, saying, pay me what you owe. So his servant fell down on at his feet and begged him, saying, be patient with me and I will pay you all. And he would not, but he threw him into the prison till he pays the debt. Do you want to know how much this servant owed? Now remember, he was forgiven of over $12 million. This servant owed him $20. I'm gonna let that marinate for just a second. You get forgiven of 12 million, but you go after someone who owes you 20? What price tag can you put on the amount of forgiveness that God has extended to you, but you are not willing to extend to somebody else? Trina, bless you for being here. I want you to think about this. If the Lord, can I go there? Can I go there? Can I go there? Do y'all really want me to go there? Because I'm getting ready to say some stuff that's going to, the Lord has forgiven you of your alcoholism, your drug abuse, your sleeping around, your inconsistencies. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Your lies, your contempt, your greed, your selfishness, your greediness. He has, when you ask him to forgive you, he does. I'm gonna wait on this. I'm a wait. You done lied to God and told him you were gonna do stuff you ain't did. You've been sleeping around with everything you come in contact with, and you need to thank God you didn't die from a disease. You've consumed more alcohol than the liquor store can keep up with. You smoke more weed and more crack than they can produce. And God, when you come to him and say, Lord, forgive me. 1 John 1:9, if you confess your sins, he's faithful and just to forgive you and to cleanse you from all unright. And you need to understand, not only in this forgiveness process, it is not just your past, present, but also your future sin that was nailed on the cross that allows us to have the freedom that we find through the bloodshed of Jesus Christ. Listen, I got to deal with what I got to, because all of us have been guilty of something. All of us have told the Lord we're going to do something and don't do it. And then when someone has wronged us or misused us or abused us or treated us bad or did some kind of weird thing to us I'm trying not to go there, or you done had the baby and the Negro don't want to be bothered with you no more, don't want to pay no child support, don't want to this, don't want to do that, and you want him to go straight to hell. And then somebody else comes along who may have stepped on your foot or sat in your seat or looked at you cross-eyed or said something smart to you. You want to smack the bejesus out of them. You want them to be assassinated by the God who has forgiven you of much more. And then when the person says, please forgive me, no, not forgiving you after all you have done to me. No, I'm not going to do that. I want you to suffer. That's as far as I'm going for today. When I come back tomorrow, I'm going to finish the rest of this up, because I think we need to understand and to recognize that when God forgives us of our horrific behaviors, because sin is not just sex, not just drugs, not just alcohol. You can't take no more. Not just all of that stuff. Sin is when you miss the mark. I want you to think about that. And if God, through Christ, can forgive you, what's wrong with you forgiving somebody else? Now, again, I didn't say that you become their doormat. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is you need a release. And people ought not hold you in bondage because of your now own self-inflicted wounds. Listen, y'all have a blessed day in the Lord. We'll see if y'all show up tomorrow. For those of you that'll be watching it later, y'all got to see what some of these folks curl up your toes because this is deep. Because every now and then I got to break out the two-edged sword. I got to let it be known that sometimes we have become very comfortable and very satisfied with a vindictive spirit. And we want God to do what again, do you want what you won't give? I'll be back tomorrow. Y'all have a blessed. Get out there and get you some fresh air. Get out there and enjoy the grace and mercy of God. Get out there. Sit outside, walk outside, do a little something. I love y'all so much. I love you with the love of Jesus Christ. I got to go. May God bless you. May he keep you is our prayer.